Yeah, it's Starlito.
Trapperman Dale.
And it's Off the Porch with DGB, Dirty Glove Bastard.
Got too much sauce for this juice. Got too much sauce for this juice. Got too much sauce for this juice. Got too much pride not to shoot.
So what's going on, guys? Welcome to Atlanta. How's it going today?
It's cool.
Did any of you guys watch any NFL games last night or yesterday?
I don't want to talk about this shit. I lost my ass off.
He gambled that shit. I watched it though.
Yeah.
I went out bad yesterday.
Who cost you the most? Saints?
You bet on the Saints.
The biggest favorite on the board.
I actually won some money on the Bucks yesterday too.
But yeah, that's your hometown.
Yeah.
I was smart enough not to bet on my home team.
Yeah, they lost to Miami, yeah.
They started off good and then they can't finish.
But they had all those rain delays too.
Yeah, they got like 7 hours.
Yeah, this was the longest NFL game
That's
ever.
why they should have had, bruh, they should have had energy or some shit.
Yeah, it seemed like Miami definitely woke up after that. You guys got any Super Bowl predictions for this year?
I picked the Rams and the Jags. That's my prediction.
What do you like about the Rams this year?
It was solid last year. I went out to Seattle when they played the Seahawks last year. By the time I got to my seat, they was up like 28. I was hot.
You had money on Seattle, huh?
That too, but I'm just saying, like, I went to the game, and it was like first quarter. It was my birthday. I was in slow motion, getting in the stadium, and by the time I got my little food, refreshments, and all that, I sat down and they scored like 4 touchdowns. So I decided they must be pretty legit.
They got a whip.
Then the first time we played Madden, he picked the Rams and he beat my ass.
Todd Gurley.
So I was like, I'm gonna pay a little bit more attention to the Rams this year.
I think the Chiefs going.
Chiefs?
For real.
You got them in the Super Bowl though?
My words, underdogs, the Chiefs, man.
You got them in the Super Bowl though?
I don't got them that far. I think they're gonna make a good run though.
Who in the Super Bowl?
Tom.
Who you pick? Tom.
Brady again?
Shit. I like the Rams. Though.
Yeah, I like them.
I like the Rams. I just don't. They deep. And the Jazz might be on the team that they on the team got some hope with.
You got me on record with that.
This is for the record. This is after week 1, so.
And we're gonna win that bitch.
All right. So Lito, go ahead and introduce us. Who you got with you today?
I'm Starlito. This is my dog Trapperman Dale. We out of Nashville, Cashville, where they grind hard every day.
What part of Nashville are you from, Dale?
Where's Nashville?
Lito, you from what side?
I'm from the east side.
The east side. Historically, the east and west side get along over there, or?
I mean, it is what it is. Nashville is a different place now than where I grew up, so it ain't really so much where you're from.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you about some money, you get money with people from every side.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's not unheard of for the east and west to come together.
Real hustlers and people that are really about their bread, or really, as I've always known, that was getting to some money. Didn't really have their picks and chooses. People out there that was really getting to it, got money with people from all over, from every side of Nashville, outside of Nashville. Like that's a Stone Age kind of mindset to say I'm from over here, so I can only coexist, interact with people from over there. It's kind of silly. We're not, but I don't think it ain't maybe when you're younger kids, teenagers, you fighting about what side of town you're from. About some money.
Gotcha. And so the first time I heard or actually the first song you were on with, you two were on together, Lito, you recorded saying, seen Trap on the news, decided to sign him without ever hearing him. What's the backstory on that?
That's real life shit. We probably don't even want to go back into that. But it's for real though.
The song New Level, you speaking of, it was on Trap album 91. That actually wasn't the first song. That wasn't the first song people probably would have heard a song together. That was the first song that was released. I mean, it might have been the first song that you heard or people might have heard. It was featured on my Hot Chicken album twice, that song.
Yeah.
And prior to that, That was summer 2017 when that album released. In the spring, I was on tour, and I saw something. I saw a news clip and recognized his haircut. Or the people around me recognized his haircut. I was like, that's such and such.
I think that's how everybody. I think that's how the whole newscast recognized me. That damn haircut.
Yeah, the people I was on the bus on the Sprinter with was like, that's Trapperman Dale, and I hadn't really like tapped all the way into the music, but that was kind of a hell of an introduction, a first impression, if you will. Cause I'm like, what y'all looking at? You know, I'm thinking it's a music video kind of thing. And when I look at the phone that they looking at, I'm like, damn, this News Channel 5. Like, I've been on there a couple times. Like, I know it ain't no damn music, what they cover. So after that, I tapped into the music. So that was, like you said, it was true, you know. And like I said, the people around me were already hip.
Yeah.
Like,
so you were familiar with the name?
I heard the name, but everybody else in the Sprinter with me knew the music. And as artists, sometimes we can kind of be in a bubble and stuck on our own brands or pushing our own music. You know, I had other artists that I was working with already. But like some of my peers, some of my homies, cameramen and otherwise were like hip to it. You know, we were on tour, it's independent, like we might take turns driving. We went across the country in a Sprinter. So whoever was driving, like, kind of controlled the music. Your red dot was behind the wheel. You gonna get Ghetto Boys, some All No Limit, like, bro, a little bit older than me, older than some of the other people. He might be educating, putting people up on the music. If I'm behind the wheel, I might be playing the music I'm recording right then, kind of testing out mixes, trying to see how the people with me respond to it. One of my other partners, Bankroll Gotti, when he got behind the wheel, he was playing trap shit, you know, and I was like, what's that, who is that kind of thing, and so around the same time, like, it was just kind of all at once, you know, like I said, the first impression, like, man, what does this guy got going on? And as far as for me, I'm a fan of street music. Maybe the biggest thing, most important factor for me is credibility. You know, everybody can talk it. You know, you can regurgitate what you heard somebody else saying they raps and come across as believable, but you can't buy credibility. There's certain things that you wouldn't be able to say or talk about unless you really from there to of there, about that life, let's say. So, you know, like I said, the news don't just really cover anything.
Yeah.
So, right. It was a layer to it that made me listen to his music a little different.
Yeah. All right, so Dale, I want to go back to your haircut then. And I hear there's like a pretty good story with that. Can you explain what's over your haircut?
Yeah, it's a dream / it's a dining phase. My homeboy, we used to get this haircut. It's kind of fucked up right now. We used to get this haircut, like, it's supposed to have been a booster, but we get it pushed all the way up type shit, and he passed away, so we kind of never let the haircut die type shit. We just stayed with it. I know I did. I don't get nothing but this haircut, so I'll probably get this motherfucker until it's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else rock that?
Yeah.
A couple other people from the neighborhood?
Yeah, a lot of people rock it. It's kind of famous around my way.
Yeah. And so when did you start getting into music, Dale?
I think it was around that time, like, when he had passed. Cause he was actually doing music and shit. And when he passed, we kind of just, I think it was a lot of shit he was doing, we just stayed with it. Music was one of them. So.
How long ago that was?
That was probably like 4 years, 5. Donnie been gone for about 5 years. He been gone for about 5 years. So I've been in and out twice since then. So you can take away 2 years of that shit. So.
Yeah. So when did you start taking music pretty seriously?
This last time when
Yeah.
was released.
How long you been on that?
I've been out for like almost going on like 3 years coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were some of your favorite artists growing up?
I'm sitting beside one of them.
What did he mean to the city of Nashville growing up to? Because you're what, about 10 years younger than him or so?
Yeah.
I ain't that old. I ain't that fucking old. I got me fucked up.
Nah, it was.
We about 5, 6. I'm about 6 years older.
Nah, yeah. Nah, we ain't that old apart.
Okay.
Not about 5, 6. He's stunned now. Nah, it's about 5 or 6. It was big though, coming up, cause like really at my age, we couldn't buy CDs and shit, so we really didn't have access to music like that. That was one of the, like growing up, that's all I was hearing, like his All-Star name. That's when his name was All-Star then.
What was it about his music that appealed to you back then?
It was real, and I was young then, so if I could feel it then, you know.
Yeah.
If you can feel it then, it's just, if you can grab somebody's attention then, that young, my whole school was on it. I was in middle school then. He was just original, really. So.
Any other artists you that inspired you to rap or anything like that?
I listened to the Hot Boys growing up.
Hot Boys?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite member?
I like Turk.
Turk? Yeah.
I like the Turk.
So yeah, you guys got TrapStar dropping this Friday, September 14th. Can you guys just like talk about what to expect? Was it just trap music? Is it just real street music? A little bit of everything? What we got on there? You mentioned Bandplay produced the whole thing.
Yeah, produced by Bandplay entirely. Man,
It's a to me, listening to it, it's a mixture like trap and it's real life shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think you get a full spectrum of, like you said, street shit, street life. I think we do a good job of meeting in the middle, our two brands of music, in that it may be street oriented, but like if you listen to the album, I don't know what the expectation is, cause maybe somebody listening may not have heard my music or may be unfamiliar. I feel like working with him, I tapped back into maybe some of my roots,
yeah, he definitely did.
And then on the flip side, as you listen to the album, when you get toward the end of the album, it become a little bit more conscious. It's still like street, it's still talking that talk, or it's on that level, but it's like you gotta talk about the full picture of it. Like you say, he been in and out of that place as a result of living that life. Like it's not glamorous, it's not just you get the money, you ball and live happily ever after. Like that ain't, I don't know nobody that's their narrative. So we touch on that too. It's envy, it's greed, it's jealousy, it's the pitfalls, it's a downside to all this stuff too. So we made sure to try to cover the bases and them flows, them the beats, the production push us in different directions. It's light on features, but we work with street credible artists, from different areas, different regions. The young street cats, the young fly street cats that represent what the trap actually is. We've been in a trap, from Texas, Atlanta, and otherwise, and you give and get respect, and I think real recognize real, as they say. And it's nothing forced on no level, but I said, them flows and stuff, I think bro got a real unique way of articulating his perspective and his experiences and all like that. So even from that, it might open my mind. I've been a slow flow, I've been in criticism, or maybe what some people like. How I used to be on the syrup real bad, and that kind of influenced the beats I picked, the way I rap, the music I made, and hearing a breath of fresh air, but maybe just make you pipe it up, perk up a little bit. And like I said, we meeting in the middle. It might have been the same. We might have picked some beats that he wouldn't have necessarily picked for us. So I know he was explaining how he normally approach a studio session or the way he make his music, and he had to kind of flip that a little bit and you know, working with me and band, you know, and that was interesting to me. I wouldn't have known. We was maybe 8 songs in before I even knew that. Like, I just go to the studio kind of thing. He was like, he never came to the studio without a song written or without his lyrics and otherwise, and you know, I do a lot of thinking on my feet or just following the producer's lead, or especially when I can work hands-on like we did with Bandplay. Bandplay actually recorded every vocal on the album. So it was the 3 of us in a small room for the most part, just making the shit happen. It's the whole trap vibe, trapped out vibe was very, very like pure. All kind of shit going on while we was making this project. Like,
You guys got any personal favorite songs on the project?
Man, I like shit. Damn. Man, I like Juice because I like how we came up with a plot to that. I like how we came up to the plot to the video and just we reacted to the movie. It was dope. It was real dope. So that's really one of my favorite tracks. I really just love the whole CD though.
yeah, Juice.
Say something. I don't know, man.
Juice probably his favorite verse of mine. I like his verse the best out of the project on Juice. My favorite song is Distracted.
Okay. That's the last song on there, right?
It's the next to the last song. I like it because that's the streets. As much as a brick or a pound or an ounce or a sack or a bell, you know, like cliche prototype shit, you know what I'm saying? A load or whatever. Case is a real thing. I caught 2 cases while we was recording this project. Like, and I started the record off very deliberately. They'll never tell you about the downside, all the shit that go through a nigga mind when it's drought time. You know, that's more of my reality than the violent element of it as far as my experience. I done lost more friends to the streets. I got more friends locked up than I probably got rap friends, you know, so that song, then it's musical. It's like Bandplay pushing the envelope on some, that beat don't really sound like none of the rest of the shit out the project. But Juice, my favorite verse from Trap on there, if we get this feature back in time, Have You Ever will probably become my favorite, or you know, maybe what I listen to the most.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. So this is the. See, we spent a lot of time on it, really long nights anyway. It was.
Yeah, it's an 11-track album. We probably recorded 13.
He did and wore myself in the middle.
Yeah.
He recorded it in the middle and it fucked me up. I didn't.
It's definitely on 2 different vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's why I'm saying it was crazy.
Yeah, definitely. We started doing songs and Bandplay had so many hard ass beats that it's like we might be working on some shit and he'll play some shit and I'll be like, hey, hold that down. I'm gonna go and then we'll go back to something and just set it to the side. Yeah, it's you know, it's a process. It's nothing like being inspired, you know. And like I said, I'm inspired by real shit. And like from the time I met Trap's brand name to his music, his face card, like, and it kind of extend past. I know I gave kind of a paraphrase of one of my homies, or my homies looking at some shit, a news clip, a news article, and then another one of my homies probably the next day playing some music. But, you know, some of the OGs, some of the older cats from his hood, like that I've been tapped in with since forever, you know, they vouch and otherwise, and they go a long way. Like, it's things we probably haven't even talked about like that, but like I don't just, for my own sake, I don't just stand next to anybody. I don't care to, you know. You can't necessarily pay me to get but so close to me. So, you know, that's just I'm very world weary and I'm just vibe conscious. Like I get to breaking out and itching and I get around fake shit. So it's like to be able to, you know, the way the shit, just the world kind of smile, you know, it's other people that's not even around anymore. You know, I heard something in the song and I'm like, damn, to know that he was around or was like a little homie to some people that I even looked up to at a time. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. You know, I think even some of the, like those people or that guy might be smiling down, seeing us working, or it's cosmic almost, like we supposed to be making a play.
And what do you see as Trap's potential?
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Like I mean, I'm seeing some other success stories from other places. And I feel like the common denominator between what's working for some of those cats, like even someone that I work with recently, like it's real. It's like the truth don't change, and there's a lot of faking it going on, but like I really believe that somewhere in between all of it, like people tend to gravitate toward what they can believe in and what's real. Like, you know, we shot a couple of videos in his section, and I'm out like the See Me Sweat, that car wreck, like that really happened, you know, and along the way of shooting that video, like bro took more pictures with fans, more people stopped at that gas station, more people took pictures with him than me. Like, as far as you talking about potential, like that made me feel good, you know, cause for as much as we got going on musically back home, we ain't got a lot of stars, you know what I'm saying? We might got a lot of potential, but to see it manifest and see it happening before your eyes, see it happening in real time, like, I want to be a part of that shit, but I feel like, you know, it's the talent is there, like, you gotta want that shit, and you gotta just keep pushing, but I can say out of running my own company for who knows how long, the number of artists that I work with, I see the most promise and potential, especially like, well, I guess I do kind of narrow that down to a local kind of thing when I think like that, because working with Moscow, I know out of Florida, I think he's got out of this world talent, free Nord, and I think he's gonna hit the ground running and get right back to it. Working with Landlord out of Vegas, like I opened my own mind and expanded my horizons as far as from that. But I done tried to work with probably 10 artists from Nashville, and I can definitely say we already making more progress on Trap situation than any of those, and no knock to anybody. It's just, when you talk about potential, it's like, it's happening. You know, we dropped the project in April, we dropping another one in September, and she got another mixtape locked and loaded. We kind of had to not set it aside. It was about choice, but that's just, you know, you working, you grinding, and somebody that's willing to take that risk and bet it all on themselves. Like, you know, a lot of these gigs and as we running around, it's on my time. So you gotta wanna be there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might be getting paid, the other artists around me just might be going on the run for the experience of it. That's in the game too. I did that shit for us paying dues. Like, a lot of places I'm going, I'm able to go because I went for free, or I went and I was just in somebody else's entourage, but that's, you know, shit don't just happen. You gotta soak this shit up, you gotta learn the game, you gotta shake some hands, you gotta figure out who, you know, who's worth fucking with, like here, there, and everywhere. And to see an artist, a younger artist, willing to take them steps for themselves, because I can't do it for you. You know, you can lead somebody to the waters that say you can't make them drink. So it's promising. It's definitely.
How does it make you feel to hear that, Trap?
It keep me going. Yeah, that type shit keep me going.
It's happening though. Shit, we did Kentucky last week. He doubled back and made some money up there. I mean, I don't want to put his business out there, but like, it's happening. Like, you stay down. Like, that's how it go.
Yeah, most definitely keep you going though. And traveling with, bro, he got so many. He got some diehard fans.
Yeah.
Definitely that cult following.
Yeah. See, I want. That's what. If I get that out of this shit, I'd be satisfied. Like,
Those are lifelong fans.
yeah, them is fans. They just will never go away. They gonna always be there. So.
I got too much sauce for this juice. Got too much pride not to shoot. My clientele through the roof, but I can't get caught with this tool. But I be damned if I get caught without it. Yo, bro, one of these calls I'm dodging. I don't really wanna talk about it. I don't like how my neighbors.